What's up, gang? It's Willie Rebuild, baby. Coming back at y'all with another little short video. Give y'all an update on Project Readiness, what I got going. I done started spraying my high build primer and block sanded, baby. I done sprayed really one wet coat around the whole car and blocked it out, which the car was already blocked out. So I sprayed one wet coat and blocked it out. I'm gonna spray one more, probably one more or two more. I think I'm gonna go with one more wet coat because I got the car pretty close. And I'm gonna reduce the primer down the sealer. I still need to spray the back bumper. I need to spray down here in the drain channel on the trunk. I done sprayed my spoiler. I'm gonna spray one more wet coat on my spoiler. As you can see, the primer laid down pretty good. This is my piece. I didn't block the spoiler yet as well. I got this piece here. I sprayed it. That's basically one coat. Primer laid down pretty good. I'm gonna block it, then spray one more coat on it and block that down. And then I'm gonna go ahead and seal it up. I blocked my hood out, sprayed one wet coat on the hood, blocked it out, blocked the passenger fender out, and found a low spot on it. This is a spot that I had fixed, and it was still a little low. Once I put my guide coat on it, it was low. But I done went around the whole car with the high build primer on it and blocked it. This section right here where my mirror go at, it's kind of high. I'm gonna probably leave that like it is, because once I put the mirror back on there, you won't be able to see that spot. It's up under the mirror. The quarter that I fixed, it blocked out really well. As you can see, this quarter was damaged. Put a guide coat on it, it blocked out pretty good. Got my front bumper that I scuffed up and shot it with primer. The primer laid down. This is probably the best piece that I sprayed with the primer. It laid down on the front bumper really, really good. And I'm glad it did, because this bumper is a pain in the butt to sand it. So I was glad it laid down pretty smooth on that spot. But one more thing that I noticed when I was spraying my primer with this small compressor. I see a lot of guys do videos on spraying with a small compressor. And one thing that I noticed is if I spray a spot, like let's say if I spray this front bumper and then I try to jump and go spray this fender, this primer gonna start spraying with a texture, because the compressor is not big enough to hold a solid pressure on the gun. So then my primer starts spitting out. So what I started doing was spraying one piece at a time. Like I spray that front bumper, I let the compressor build up, then I come and spray the wing. Or I spray a quarter panel and then stop. So you gotta, when you're using that small compressor, you gotta spray in sections. I noticed that. And this the gun that I'm using to spray the primer with. it got a 2.5 tip in it, so I can spray that high build primer real good. But that that compressor is not holding the pressure. So I noticed on some of the panels, like if I spray a big panel anyway, it'll start spitting. Or if I just try to keep spraying continuous like these fenders, it was a pain in the ass to block them down because the primer sprayed with a lot of orange peel. So, I mean, it was just primer, but it made the work harder because it was more that I had to sand. Like when I sprayed this quarter laid down pretty good with minimum texture to the primer, but I only sprayed this 1/4. So that's something I'm gonna have to keep in mind. And I got a solution for that too. If I don't want to come with that compressor, we brought the big boy over here. Had to bring the big boy out to eliminate that problem. There go the deck lid. As you can see, my primer, it laid down pretty good on the deck lid because I only sprayed that one spot. So the primer laid down pretty good on the deck lid. Got Money Mike over here. He's been doing the body work on this Malibu. This fender was pretty messed up. So he's been working on this fender for at least 2 days, trying to get it to where it's manageable to get the job done. What you think about it, Money Mike?
I think we're 90% home with it. That big compressor that you just looked at, that's gonna take care of all of this in about 4 hours, completely done. Just little nitpick spots. That fender, it should have been junked, but we turned it into a workable fender, and it's good. A couple little spots I gotta sand and prime it, and then put some high build prime on it, block it. Car be ready for paint.
That's why the progress on the Buick Riviera, it done stopped because Mike done took on another job with this Malibu to go ahead and spray it for the guy and make it a beautiful car when he going on down the racetrack.
Yes, sir.
But
nice car for a race car, ain't it?
he done already started sanding everything with the block. But the big compressor is gonna speed the process up a lot.
Instead of 4 days, it take about 4 hours.
Deck lid came out pretty good without a lot of texture, as I was saying. Camera ain't want to kind of focus from the other side because of the light, but it came out pretty good. The bottom side of it, I didn't prime it yet because I'm gonna go back over it and re-seam seal the bottom before I prime it in. I ought to get some more seam sealer because I ran out. But all in all, we getting work done.
Yeah, the deck lid and the spoiler. You show me the spoiler that you made?
Yeah, I showed him the spoiler.
That was in pieces?
It was in pieces, gang. I had to save it. $250 for a new one. However much they want.
And it was damaged.
And you still gotta do body work when you buy the new one because it got a lip on the top of it where they fill it at with the shit that they use to make it. As you can see, gang, as I be telling y'all, you want a race car or a street car? If you driving down the street and you get in a wreck in this right here, your ass gonna be fucked up.
Yes, sir.
And the car ain't gonna be no more salvage. This is the race, not to go down the street. It's to save your life in case you hit the wall. But it's also built like this to shave weight off of the car. So you gotta make your mind up, gang. You want a street car or you want a race car? Cause a race car ain't good on the street. And the street car, it ain't good on the racetrack. So you got to make your mind up and know what you want. This car right here is not gonna be a Sunday cruiser. It's gonna be a track warrior, and that's it. The only time it's gonna see daylight is when it's out at the track. Other than that, it's gonna stay in here and keep the shop company for us while we in here.
I never heard it put that way.
But this guy, he have a few cars for different situations. Got Sunday cruiser, got race car, got work truck, different cars to do different situations. So if this gonna be your only car that you got to cruise, you might want to think about it before you turn it into a full-blown race car.
Absolutely.
Because once you do that, this car right here, you can't even put your kids in it. Ain't nowhere for them to sit. And your wife might get in it, but all these fucking seat belts to strap your ass in there, I doubt it if she gonna want to ride in that. But it's just a short video of letting y'all see what we got going on, and that we still making progress on things around here, even though I ain't recorded. It's Willie Rebuild and Money Mike.
And that big compressor that's gonna take a bunch of time off the job.
Yes, sir. It's Willie Rebuild and Money Mike over here about to get back to work in Area 51. Don't forget, baby, to like, share, and subscribe. Over and out.